Yeah, I know. Oh, excellent.
Well, all right. Everybody, welcome back. Another episode of the Booyah podcast. I've got Keenan and Clay here.
What's up?
Clay, I wish your name was Kel, so I could say I've got Keenan and Kel here.
I haven't heard that one before.
I haven't. I don't get that. Yeah.
But for anyone that doesn't know, these guys are in a dope band around here called Nikita. Nikita. Clay, you are playing guitar. Keenan, you're playing trumpet, keyboards. You're also arranging. You're also writing, and you're doing some background vocals, Clay?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
Yes, I am.
All right. So
When Mike points his trumpet at me, I'm going to try and do the background vocals, and you know how it is.
It's
like sometimes it's like, oh shit, guitar and now singing, you know. But
I have a hard time with that.
But these songs are sick, so I want to sing along with them. You know what I mean?
It needs it.
Like
it needs it.
Like, hey man, like that shit.
Yep,
I love that.
Yep.
I love how rocking it is.
Well, I want to hear a little bit about Nikita, just to get everyone to know you guys a little bit more. If you guys don't know Nikita, great local band out of Hartford, but I want to hear the way you guys would describe your band. So let's do a scenario here. You just had a show, right? And it's far away from home, and you guys are staying at a hotel, and you guys played a great show. You go back to the hotel, and you've been partying all night, and you're about to go up to your
one
room.
beer, maybe 2 beers.
Yeah, 1 or 2 beers at the most, partying hard. And you get into the elevator to go up to your room, and a guy says, "Oh, you're in a band? Give me the elevator version of how you would describe your band to that guy."
Oh, so we're like, do we have to describe it as if we were wasted?
That's what I want to hear right now.
I'd be like, hey, buddy, play a bunch of notes.
That's probably what Keenan would say.
If I was drunk.
Yeah.
All right, Clay,
but I
you're in
wouldn't
the
get-
elevator with one guy, and he asks you to describe your band. You've got 15 seconds in this elevator. What are you going to say?
14.
Sex funk.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's actually accurate.
And you know, I got that from Ian D'Arcangelo. Like, we used to kind of describe ourselves as like Purple Soul, which is sort of like a play on like Hiatus Coyote calling themselves like Future Soul.
Yep.
And we really like Prince, and so we just kind of tossed purple in there. But I think sex funk is a pretty accurate way. I think that's like our mentality a lot. You
Totally.
know?
When you say sex, you're referring to just gender, right?
Gender funk. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, not the act of sex or anything.
No.
No.
'cause
Yeah.
none of us are married.
Yeah, I think I would just say sex funk, and the guy drunk would probably be like, "Whoa, dude," and then like could just go from there. You know, I think I could just say that, and it would probably stir him up a little bit. You know.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think that's. I mean, you didn't even break it down to elevator pitch there. You broke it down to 2 words: sex funk.
Yeah.
Which does really accurate describe you guys. I
And
know
then
what
the guy's reaction is like, oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
the guy's like. So, what's your room number?
Yeah. Yeah, it would be 42069. That would be a room number in
Right.
that hotel. Yeah, for sure.
And I'm imagining that guy wearing like a beige suit. I don't know why.
You're thinking of the Sopranos episode where Tony goes to Vegas and he's in a coma, but he goes. Spoiler alert: he's in a coma, and he goes to Vegas in that dream sequence, and he gets stuck there. I think he has like a beige, I think he has like a beige suit.
I could
You
see
know,
Tony wearing a beige suit.
fuck yeah. Early 2000s mob boss beige suit. Yeah,
But not that slick of a beige suit, like a knockoff version of it.
like
You need-
off the rack.
And it's like a little too big on him.
Yeah, a little
Yeah.
boxy. Yeah.
Totally not tailored. It's just He bought it on a whim.
Yep.
What's
Yeah.
this guy's name?
The guy, the drunk dude.
I thought we were drunk.
He's drunk. Okay. The elevator man.
Elevator man's name.
Daryl.
Yeah, it's got to be.
Daryl.
Daryl. Okay.
Yeah. I don't know why I'm thinking of Daryl from The Office, but.
All right. So we've just described Daryl.
Mm-hmm.
That your Nikita is a sex funk purple soul band.
Mm-hmm.
When did you guys start? Tell me about like the beginnings of Nikita. Because you're not originally from Hartford, right? You're
Yeah. So Nikita formed in like 2017, but me and Keenan and Billy and Kyle went to high school together, and so I think I've known you since like junior year, and
Something like
you've
that.
known Kyle and Billy since you were like little
Yeah,
kids,
my
right?
dad was Billy's soccer coach.
Yeah.
And then me
Yeah.
and Kyle had Mrs. Meanclaw for 4th grade, dude.
Yeah, I don't know. Mrs. White Claw?
No, Mrs. Meanclaw, dude. Because we were all 3rd graders.
She a
and we were gonna-
Velociraptor.
We were going to go into 4th grade, and everyone was like, oh, she's mean, so we call her Mrs. Meanclaw. And then I was like, oh.
And you wanted to be friends with her?
I just like Freddie Hubbard.
They're like, what? 3rd grader likes Freddie Hubbard. So yeah, like Keenan and I were in a high school band together, actually. And
Hiatus.
yeah. And
No, it
Before
wasn't.
Yes, it was.
Before Hiatus Coyote.
Okay, I was
yeah,
gonna say.
if I ever meet them, I'm gonna tell them he stole
Yeah,
our
they ripped
name.
it from us.
I think they would think that's funny. And so actually, Billy was in a different high school band.
Naked Sunday.
Yeah, and there was a bunch of bands in our high school. There was this benefit concert that students would put on that started like after 9/11
Never forget.
because yeah, you're gonna have to bleep
Investigate it.
that out. Loose change. Okay. Anyways, like one of their relatives died in it, and they were like funding a scholarship to help kids that lost relatives in that. And that was like the original thing, but every couple years, like that cause would change, but there was always like concerts going on there.
Yeah.
Like every semester or so, they would throw a concert in the auditorium, and so there's a bunch of bands like in our high school. There's like 5 or 6 bands like the whole time I was there.
Okay.
And I remember one time, like my band and Billy's band were both playing this benefit concert, and I might have been like putting them on at this point or something. So there's this question of like who was gonna like open up the show. And like nobody wanted to open up the
big
show,
question.
and like
no one wants to open.
Billy and I were like fighting each other over. Like I wanted to do a coin toss, and he was like, "No, we've been around longer," and it was very funny. Like all this drama, and I don't know. I like to say that like Hiatus fucking killed that set. Yeah, but yeah. So like we've known each other for a long time, and like when we got out of high school, Keenan went to WestCon. And
WestCon is best con. Stay near, go far.
and we weren't like in a band for a while or anything, but just knew we wanted to get back together. And then, yeah, I guess towards the end of people getting out of college and shit like that, like put that together. And yeah, and that was in like 2017. We had started coming out here like the year before that, maybe.
What do you mean out here?
Out to Booyahs and
I
Funk
remember
Nights
getting
and
like
whatnot.
rowdy drunk and just like walking around downtown Hartford a bunch.
Yep. I would Billy and I would try and like close the restaurant we worked at as quickly as possible and try and make it out here before the second set and shit. And so when we started Nikita and like we were actually like trying to record shit we had written, we didn't really know anything about like keyboards or synths or anything.
Mm-hmm.
And so I saw like Funkhouse Music online and stuff.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, I think that's the keyboard player in Booyah, and like hit him up, like when we were like we had started we were about to record an EP, and we're gonna go to him to do all our synths and Rhodes and all that shit because we
Gotcha.
didn't know anything past like MIDI controllers and like presets and like Logic and shit.
Right.
You
Not
know,
like these analog like
one of the real shit.
classic synths.
Yeah, and we had a really good time recording with Paul and stuff. Sam, were you living there at the time? This would have been like late 2017, like fall of 2017.
I don't think I was.
I think Mike and Jesse were there.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mike and Jesse.
It's all a blur.
I know.
I remember
Yeah.
Matt Venora was living there.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
if that's the case, then I was not there
Okay.
by then. But
Okay.
yeah, I mean, you guys kind of established your own band house as well.
Well, so when we came to record like those couple days at Funkhouse, we were walking around. When we go get food, like walk over to like Tangiers or whatever, and so we were walking around those streets, like Tremont Street and Oxford Street and shit. We would hear people shedding, like drummers and stuff like that playing, and so
Yep.
we were like, oh, this is like we were living in Willimantic at the time.
That's where you were,
Knew
yeah.
there was
I was
epicenter of
in-
people
I was
here.
in Southbury.
Yeah, he was in Southbury, so
So-
he was like driving from Southbury to Willimantic for like band practice and
Wow.
shit. So it was not.
Yeah.
And so we were
I was
like, we need a
tired.
band house. We need to be in like a central location. And so like when we came to record in the West End at Funk House and stuff, kind of like showed us the West End and how beautiful of a neighborhood it is, and also we heard people playing, and then so we started looking in there, and Billy and Chris went to this open house for some other house that was like way too big for us to rent. And the real estate agent had a client that like owns the house that we moved into, and was like, hey, I have this house that's not listed yet, but it's about to be listed. You want to come check it out? And then that's, it was a fucking beautiful house, and it, had spaces, bedrooms for all of us, space to rehearse and record in and whatnot. And so that's where we are now in the West End. It's like a street over from Funk House,
Yep. So you guys are there. Are you still there?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And you guys, Dwayne's there, the drummer.
Yep. Yeah. Billy lives across the street now.
Yep.
Like literally across the street.
Right across the street.
Yep.
So you guys kind of took over that kind of block.
Yeah.
And I mean, the place is legendary. It's the Funk House is no more. So now the torch has moved over to the Nikita house.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys are doing what we did. Like we would rehearse there.
Mm-hmm.
We would record there. We would stash all our gear there. I mean, that's important.
It's
just
huge.
Having a dumping ground
That's
for all your
not all you would
stuff.
stash there.
Oh, dude.
You also have food and water.
Right. Cheerios
Essentials,
and Chex
Cheerios.
Mix.
Yeah, Chex Mix. Sometimes we mix
Linens.
them together. Yeah.
Especially like with like warmer months coming and stuff like that, I'm sure more unplanned partying will come into play and whatnot. You know what I mean? Like it just.
You say war months or warm months?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Both.
Partying means war.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How important would you say it is to have like a centralized band house like that as a band today?
Yeah, I mean, I think that if it wasn't like a house, it would have to be like rehearsal space or something, And the only advantage to the house is that like your rent is all consolidated.
It's
instead of having like a
everything
monthly
all in
expense
one.
that the band has to keep up with, it's like a part of our own things. And I mean, it can get used with other bands and musicians we play with and work with too.
We've all had other things happen.
Yeah, other projects working in there.
One time Weekend was rehearsing there yesterday.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you guys have other bands come through and use the space.
Yeah,
as well.
yeah. That's like not
was,
super
really
often.
The only band that we're not in, I guess.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Because like you got your own side stuff too. Like you're doing all sorts of.
I've rehearsed there.
Sometimes.
Yeah, and Dwayne ends up in bands or puts together groups and whatnot.
Yeah.
And so that space gets used a lot for things like that. And so I mean, I think it's essential for that until like a band can bring in enough money every month from gigging or however to make $500 to $800 or whatever it costs to own a space, like rent a space like that.
Dude, I'll tell you what, like we never even got to that point.
Mm-hmm.
Like when we were like full-time gigging, touring, it's just like to think about an additional expense on top of all your other overhead costs as a band, and also making sure the dudes are paid. Like everyone just gets paid like enough for them to live.
So we're paying Erica.
yeah, that's it.
Right, yeah, that's only the dudes for sure.
Damn, dude, shit's real. Yeah, no, I think that it's like a lot to keep up with, and especially with how I feel like gigging ends up. You have your busy seasons, and then you have times where you're just not gigging as much, and you really got to bring in a lot. I feel like to cover the slow months for like an expense like that. Like $500 a month or whatever. Yeah.
It's a roller coaster of like because I was talking to Omen last week about how he took the dive, of just quitting that day job.
I remember him telling me right before he was going to do that. He was just like, I'm scared. I'm
Which
just
is
like,
awesome.
Omen, you're going to be fine.
You're going to be fine, buddy.
Everyone wants to play with you. You're going to be good.
But he's talking about the same thing, right? Like you're almost like a squirrel storing nuts for the winter.
Dude,
right?
yeah. I feel like it's like you kind of have to. I don't know. It's like maybe like the first slow season comes around, you don't realize how slow it's going to be, and then you learn after that. You're like, no, you gotta be like better with saving and like prepared for the times, because it's like I feel like you make decisions to like jump off or whatever, or go for it in the time.
Because you did that, right?
Yeah, totally.
Keenan, you're in the same boat, right? Like you're all in on music.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
You guys are.
Yeah.
See,
No monies.
I'm a sellout, bro.
Oh no, dude, you did it. You did it for longer than we've been doing it. You know what I mean? So I feel you on that too. See how it goes. But like can't
sold out
say
to the
anything
man.
for fucking stability. You know what I mean? And it's not like dude, you're
definitely
playing all the
not
time
stable.
too. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's. I do look back though and look at like you guys and Omen and everyone else like just completely chasing their dreams still, not just like balls deep,
Mm-hmm.
head over heels, just going for it.
Balls are soaked.
Yeah, just soaked, right? We told you guys this was going to be the raunchy
Yeah,
Booyah
dude.
podcast today.
Trigger
This is what happens when we get the boys together.
Boys, fucking boys. Yeah, all sweat, dude.
But I look at you guys just being like, damn guys, these guys are going at it and just having a great time.
Yeah,
And
dude.
living in that band house, like I'm looking back to those days, like those are some of the funnest
Mm-hmm.
memories of my life. Living in the funk
Yeah.
house, the after parties.
Yeah.
Can we talk about after parties here?
Yeah, so I think that like when we came around, we weren't like when we started coming around, might have been when some of the big ones happened there, but we just weren't quite tight with you guys yet or anything. We weren't like we were also we were driving back to Willimantic where we lived, you know what I mean?
Sure, you
So
had a
we
haul.
weren't like
Yeah.
we weren't like fucking around in Hartford trying to find the after party or anything like that.
But you knew about them.
Well, it's like I had this feeling. I hear people talk about like going to an after party. I'm like, fuck, where's the after party? That sounds sick. Oh, well, let's go back to Willimantic. And then when we started recording with Paul and kind of
Getting more.
getting a sense of the place, like I heard about the scale of some of these after parties was like hundreds of people at your fucking house and like cops showing up and stuff. And yeah, so like was that happening? Like those are the after parties that I heard people talking about going to. Like
Yes.
those nights.
Dude, so it got to a point where it started off as like you can imagine. We play the show, we talk to just the local bubble and circle of homies
And then
here.
everyone tells like 5 to 10 people.
Sure, and it starts to that bubble starts to get bigger. And by the end of it, man, there were people coming that I didn't even see at Arch Street. And I was
Right.
like, where are you coming from? And they're like, oh, we're coming from Soli's Pub. I'm like, dude, we weren't even there tonight.
Yeah, why are you? What are
I
you
don't
doing
even know
here?
you.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Dude, that's such the nature of a party house like that, though.
It's like,
I had
those
a
are the
house like
ones
that.
that are there at like 6 a.m. Where you're like, I would love to go to bed
Right.
right now.
yeah, we've all been there.
I had a house like that, like in college / like just after college, and like we would throw these fucking
What was it called?
rages. The Romehild.
What was it?
It was called the Romehild. It was named after the girl who first lived there out of all of us, named Hannah Romehild.
Okay.
Anyway, and I could talk about that, but I don't really want to.
Okay.
But that was a party house, though, right?
That was a party house, but similar deal. Like we'd have a show or something, or like
Right.
whatever. Like some event was going on, and then like people would start showing up. Just like, where are you coming from?
It just
And be
starts to snowball out of
like,
control.
we came from Arch Street.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to stand guard. Like there was it got to a point where I was like standing at the front door, almost being like a doorman.
Were these
For the
like?
night,
Were
like,
these like?
Who are
Project
you?
X
Who do you
style
know that's
parties?
inside this house right
Yeah.
now? And they'd be like, I don't know. And then I'd be like, you can't come in,
That's so.
Nothing against you.
That's so crazy too, because it's not like you're on like some apartment complex at like Yukon or something. You're just like a house in a neighborhood. You know
Yeah,
what I
it's
mean?
not even close to
with
heart,
with
yeah.
families next door.
Right.
Yeah, like they're going to work. These are Wednesday nights too. They're
Right.
not even like Saturday nights. They're Wednesday nights.
Oh my god.
Yeah, honestly, I feel like
God bless those people.
I feel like the funk nights here have like changed the like rhythm of the town, because I feel like Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays just do not go as hard most of the time because Wednesdays are hard and the weekends are hard.
yeah,
at least
we've
in the
hijacked
circles
the middle
I-
of the week.
Mhm. And it's a vulnerable day. There's not a whole lot going on. You're bored. You're not still hungover, and you're like, why not?
Right.
And
Yeah, why am I not hungover?
why am I not hungover? I could have been. Maybe tomorrow.
Wait, so basically what I'm hearing is like you guys were kind of working around here, checking out Booyah in the early days, doing some recording at Funk House, and you were like, okay, we need to do a band mecca of like coming over to the West End and just like involving ourselves into the Hartford music scene.
Yeah. I mean, it's like there was like a small scene in Willimantic, like a lot of people that we would play with at open mics and whatnot. Like there was this bar just down the road from our house, and they'd have open mics. It was a mafia themed bar actually. Yeah, called Corleone's. I don't know if you're familiar.
Was it mafia themed or like mafia owned?
Mafia themed, not mafia owned.
Posers.
Not mafia owned. Yeah, total posers. It was just an old house too, and they just put a bunch of Godfather decorations in there and shit. But anyways, they would have open mics there, and it was sort of like, you know, you kind of like do what you wanted there. It was like a chill, divey spot.
So this was like your Art Street Tavern.
Yeah, this is where we like incubated in open mics and slowly kind of formed into like a band. And so there's, you know, a lot of people around there that we played with, but when we started coming out here, we're like, oh my god, there's like a bunch of people here that fucking wanna,
Someone
you know,
wants to come in. We got a surprise guest.
Surprise guest.
Jason, get your ass in here.
Surprise
Get your ass in here, bud.
Jason,
What's going on?
how we doing?
Have a seat, bro.
Here, so we're sit on the left. Okay, right here. Yeah.
Actually,
What do you
yeah,
want to
yeah.
be?
Sure.
How
What do you
the
want for
fuck
Christmas?
are you?
All right, 20 questions. Go.
How many? How do you have your foreskin still?
It's still there,
God,
and
God damn it.
it's growing longer every day for you.
Every
bud.
day, 1
Yep.
inch a day.
Yeah.
Is that how
Absolutely.
it works? Is it like hair where it's like
Yeah.
you don't-
Yeah,
Yeah, you have to
like,
keep up with it. Yeah.
They
Yeah.
make a special foreskin
Never
razor.
stop growing.
Yeah. I go supercuts. It's great.
It's called the Moisil.
You've seen an old man's foreskin? It's
Oh
it's
god,
giant.
wrinkly. All right, so that's all my time, folks.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, no.
Jason,
What were you guys talking about? I heard I
Okay.
probably interrupted some good conversation.
Oh yeah, I was just saying
We're
like
talking about Hartford, dude.
yeah, like when we started coming out here, we just come into Booyah and Funk Night and stuff. It's
Mhm.
like met a ton of people that we didn't know that were into the shit that we were into. We're
Yeah.
like, oh my god! And it's like I had like driven through Hartford like on the highway my whole life, like never really like fucked around in Hartford, and so I didn't know there was like a bunch of cool houses and cool people to hang. I came to like the Russian Lady a lot in like my younger
No.
20s.
Okay.
And I was like, I don't know if Hartford's for me. You know?
You made it out alive, my
yeah,
friend.
yes, I did. Yeah, I
Yes.
didn't
I,
get pushed
I,
down the stairs or
No,
anything. Yeah.
no.
I had a weird experience with Hartford, especially like the West End, where I like kind of grew up here because like my dad's parents lived on South Quaker Lane,
Oh.
so I came to like the West End in Hartford. Like I remember like West Hartford being like a small town.
Mhm.
I remember Luna's Pizza being like the only thing on the street.
like before like LaSalle and shit like that, like
Yeah.
West Hartford Center.
Yep, yeah, there was no West Hartford Center. None of those buildings were even fucking
Yeah,
really
yeah.
there.
It was sort of like, wasn't it over like was it like New Britain Avenue and stuff like that? That's sort of like where it was hopping, right? Like over by like New Park and
yeah, but
like that end of it.
yeah, I think that my dad's friend's shop might have been out there. I forget.
Your dad's friend shot a man out there.
No, shop. Like
You're talking
car
about Paul?
shop.
I know Paul.
I forget.
I was gonna let that one ride.
I mean, it is Hartford. So.
Like went to like Elizabeth Park a lot as a kid, like shit like that. So
Yeah.
it's just weird.
You know what's funny is Keenan's dad's British, so it's like
Yeah, that's
but he
why I am
moved-
the way I
but
am.
he
Oh,
moved
I've
here
floated.
when he was
I've
like
floated
8.
with the man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know.
Oh
you know
yeah,
Lucas.
yeah.
yeah.
No, you guys, yeah, you floated with him too, didn't you?
Yeah, I see where you get your personality from.
I can hear your accent. Yeah.
Hey, fun fact for anyone that doesn't know that's listening, Jason is not an American-born.
I am not.
Whoa.
I'm not a woman born. No, no.
No, you can't be president, buddy.
I know.
They should
Yeah.
change
Fucking
that.
idiot.
You
Or
make
is
a
it
great
Sweden?
president.
It was Sweden, wasn't it?
You're
It's
Swedish.
Swedish.
That's
yeah.
where they
That's
invented
what everybody says.
That's the
those
egg noodles and the meatball
Yeah.
spot.
Swedish
right?
fish.
Yeah, Swedish fish. Yeah.
And the
Yo,
furniture.
can you grab me my water?
Mm-hmm. Oh, we got a little.
Your water.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's a tall cup.
I think you'd make a great president. I would vote for you.
You can't though. It's. I'm just too Swiss, too full
How
of
do we,
cheese,
how
and
do
too
we
full of
know
chocolate.
if you just won't pick
Yeah.
a side?
I'll be neutral the
But you'll-
entire time, and nothing will get done because of that.
But you'll take the money, won't you?
I will. It's been stashed. It's been hidden. There's always a price, and you
Yeah.
can buy me,
$5.
but I will not fight you.
Chocolate.
I will not fight you.
You've played bass for Nikita.
I
Yes!
have.
Yeah.
I have.
Nikita.
Yep.
What was your eighth
I
favorite song?
remember.
Go.
Did they propose to
That's
you?
Tough Love
Was,
is
it,
my
was there
favorite.
like a
Just
No,
rock
base?
eighth favorite.
Well, eighth favorite? Yeah, eighth favorite. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tough
You
Love
know,
is great at that.
we wanted you to be in the band, but we
I
just
wanted to
knew
as well.
that you weren't ready to be in a band.
I was
you know?
leaving a
You had just been
relationship
in a band.
with band,
Yeah.
and needed some time to myself.
Like we had some hot sex,
You-
and like we
truly,
liked each other, but we
it was-
just weren't.
but it was
we
a
just-
situationship as far as that
we-
goes. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, we just
like
weren't ready.
I wasn't in the right place,
Yeah.
and you guys definitely were. You wanted something I didn't.
yeah,
I wanted you.
yeah.
But
it was just
I just-
timing's everything.
Timing is everything,
Yeah.
and truly, some nights I lay up at night thinking, wow, they're having so much fun together,
Yeah, you don't
and
sleep.
here I am.
Well, it's if you had said yes, we wouldn't be in a band with the other Clay.
No,
But
which
you know,
is
it's funny.
it all
The other
brings
Clay
something-
played with us a bunch of Willimantic.
Yeah.
And didn't want to be in the band when we started, and so we had a different dude named Kyle, and he was in the band for a couple years, and then
You
he
have
left.
Two Kyles.
Yeah,
Didn't he propose here?
Two,
Yeah.
two Keenans.
And then Jason was playing with us, and then
Yeah.
it turned out Clay, like the other Clay, like moved to Hartford, like a couple blocks from us.
Mm.
Came to a party when we were releasing a song actually, and was like, "Yeah, I live like just on the road. What are you guys doing? I'm like more settled in. I can be in a band now." And we're like, "Oh yeah, dude, come be in
This
our
guy
band."
doesn't want to
yeah.
be in the band. You know?
yeah, yeah. This fucking asshole.
Fucking assholes.
So neutral.
Wait, did you
about
play
it.
bass on Bathtub Love?
No.
No, Kyle played bass on that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow, I'm humbled that you would even think.
I don't
And then,
remember
and then,
stuff.
and
I
then
don't know.
Gianni.
Oh, Gianni.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but we were playing with you a bunch around then.
we were having
Yeah.
fun. We were
Yeah,
having fun.
we always
I
loved
remember
playing
when
with
you guys scampered your way in here.
Mhm.
Started seeing
Back
you boys
in the
around.
day.
Yeah.
I saw
Yeah.
Jason back in like 2009.
Oh God.
I saw
Yeah.
you with the
The
McDougalls,
McLovins.
the
Yeah,
McDonald's.
McDougalls.
I heard about you guys. I never saw you guys.
I saw you gathering the vibes.
Oh,
we
wow.
were fighting, dude.
We gathered hard.
And
We,
we
Yeah.
vibed.
we fucked
Yeah,
real
we
good.
gathered.
Yeah, we probably had some horns on that gig.
I don't think you did.
Okay, I don't remember anything.
I
It's
don't
okay.
either. I mean, I don't remember either. So like, I
Hey.
mean, maybe it was only horns, and you guys are all playing horns.
Yeah.
I doubt that.
Yeah.
For some reason, I don't know. I just don't know if that lines
Jason
up.
had long hair, and he looks like
Oh,
Jim
God.
Morrison.
Yeah,
Oh,
long
God.
long hair. Well, I don't know.
Yeah.
Did he have long hair then?
Yeah.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Because
Guaranteed.
I've seen some footage of you. Maybe it was before then, but you had short hair at one point.
I did. That's when I started carrying it. Well, I cared, I did, and then I let myself go,
Uh-huh.
and then I was carrying
You're
it.
like
again.
you went deep. You went
Yeah.
real deep.
Yeah, yeah.
You're like I've been in the van a long
yeah,
time.
long time. Been driving this van for years.
Mhm. Yep.
So,
So
Yeah, I'm
you,
glad
so
you
you
remember that
actually,
part.
you know what's funny is you guys are both sound guys here at Arch Street as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Jason really brought me in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
again, because I
Probably probably about a year on the schedule now, but
Yeah.
a lot of times it would be like him bringing me in for like a Booyah or something where
Yeah.
he was playing
Mhm.
and there just wasn't
Needed
another
somebody to
sound
do
person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. You,
I know that's the tricky part. You're not just sound guys; you're also musicians that are in rotation
Yeah.
with Booyah. So we
Mhm.
have to like.
Yeah.
just,
Oh, Clay
you know,
can't do it
Yeah.
because he's playing.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's not enough sound people.
It's
Somehow.
crazy.
There's just not enough
You
sound
think it's
people.
so saturated, and it's not,
Nope.
because
what's
everybody's
Chris
got
up
another
to?
gig. He's doing sound somewhere. It's always
Yeah.
everybody's so busy.
Mhm.
But it is one of those things where you're a musician and you've been doing sound for the band yourself, like in Nikita, right?
Yeah. Oh,
But-
yeah. It was like it was all pretty familiar to me. It's like it's one thing to do sound for yourself, and another thing like the nervous part is about like fucking up somebody else's show
Mhm.
or sound check or whatever. But that was I'm much more used to that.
Oh,
now.
yeah.
I usually vibe well with the bands beforehand, so
Yeah.
everything goes smoothly.
And being a musician is so much easier to do sound because you know what musicians want.
Mhm.
They need. So
I would-
it made sense. It's like Clay, just get in here and do sound.
Yeah.
I was literally gonna say that. Like, I love when the sound guy is also like a musician
Or sound girl.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sound person.
sound person.
I do try
Sound
to
person.
say like I'll be your sound person tonight.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, very good for you.
That's very
Yeah.
2024.
I say I'll be your sound man.
Your sound I'll be your sound man.
I'll be your
tonight.
sound man
I'll be your
tonight.
sound boys. I'm a sound man.
I'm sound daddy tonight.
Sound daddy.
No, I don't do that.
Sound
I do
daddies
that.
would be a pretty good
The
production
Sound Daddies.
company name, right?
Not the sound
Is-
guys, sound
yeah,
daddies.
there's the sound guys.
The sound daddies
It is.
do weddings. They do DJ stuff.
We got another guest.
Jesse?
Dude.
No, it's the ghost of Art Street, everybody.
Oh,
It's here. It's among us.
Hey, if you're a
What?
ghost, leave the door right where it is.
The door just opened by itself.
Yeah, by itself, by
It's
the way.
just-
Yeah. it just happens up here.
David Bowie
This
comes
place,
out.
there's a lot of energy roaming around in this place still.
That
And I
band,
don't necessarily,
Art Street's haunted, dude.
it's for
that band
sure.
Bone
I want to
Church
go on
asked
the
me
record
night
and
if
say,
Arch was
I said
haunted.
if you're a ghost, leave the door right where it is, and it's still right there.
It's still right there.
It's confirmed.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Wow.
If these walls could talk, though.
I know.
Oh,
Yeah, here at
Oh,
Arch
yeah.
Street Tavern. All right, actually,
We'd all
since
be in
we're
trouble.
all in this room together,
oh no.
I think it would be fun to go around the horn and, within reason, talk about the craziest shit you've ever seen at Arch Street Tavern. Like whether you're on a sound gig here
Oh,
or
wow.
just playing here or just out in the audience.
I remember.
I
okay.
have
I
a
can-
good
I have
one,
one,
so I
yeah.
want to hear
I
you
remember.
go
I remember
first.
one of the crazier ones, and they, we're going to be reasonable here, but one of them was. I remember Tim Palmieri was in doing Van Halen night for Booyah, which
Oh,
in and of itself is
yeah.
already just like, fuck. Or-
Yo, isn't it,
Damn,
isn't
that's
it
crazy.
his birthday today?
Yes, it
Oh,
is.
happy birthday, Tim. That's why you're on my mind.
Yeah.
With
With the light up guitar.
Somebody, unfortunately, it was insane night, and unfortunately, somebody passed out and hit their head, and it was bad. It wasn't great. One of the few times we've had to have somebody called into Arch Street.
Were they crying?
The paramedics came in, and I was freaking out doing sound. I'm panicking, like, what am I supposed to do? And I talked to the paramedics, like, no, keep it going. They brought him
They're
into
like
the
fucking Van
brought
Halen,
him
dude.
into
Yeah,
the
dude, don't
kitchen.
stop.
They're like
they were
carrying
working
the
on the
body,
guy
they're
in the
like-
kitchen while we were going over time, like while we were 15 minutes over, and they're just doing it's like that with
No,
some guy like
Fuck yeah.
like
dude.
laid out on where they make the sandwiches. They cleaned up after, but so anyways, and we had to get him out the back door, and it was crazy. It was pretty nuts. Yeah.
That's why they failed the health inspection.
Yeah, that was part of it. I didn't eat the burgers for a while, so no, I'm just kidding.
Okay, that is a crazy story.
Here.
All right, I'm gonna go next. All right, so after one of the Booyahs, and this was at like one of the peak of the Booyah days, where like you can guarantee 150 to 200 people almost every week,
Mhm.
and it was free, I think, at that time. So
Right.
people were coming in droves. People were showing up drunk. They would sneak alcohol in because there wasn't a security guy yet. Shout out Charles. And people were getting rowdy, right? And so after the show, they didn't want to stop partying, but they had to leave the bar. So they would go, and they still do this. They go out to the parking lot and they party it up.
Mhm.
So I'm loading my gear out, and there's someone hanging from the second or third floor of that parking lot. Like, you know how there's
Railing?
there's
Like the
railings,
cable or whatever?
the railings. They're hanging from the railing with a bunch of people standing around cheering, like, "Woo!" and I'm
Show's
just,
not
Oh,
over.
shit.
Oh
And
my god.
it was the scariest / I'm like, this
Did
is
they
what
pull
we're
themselves up?
this is what we curate here. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I feel kind of morally responsible
Do
if
you
this
remember
guy
what the
gets
theme-
hurt.
Do you remember what the theme of that night was?
Not at all. I don't remember. It
Those all blurred together.
Yeah. Not a chance.
It was actually Creed, and the last song we played was
Dude, Creed
"Can
would
You
slap.
Make Me
Oh my
Higher?"
god.
And so
wow.
I feel like you guys haven't done Creed just because you know
It'll be too
you
much.
know it would be a
people are gonna hang from the parking lot if
Yeah.
we do.
Truly. This place will crumble.
6 feet from the edge and I'm hanging. All right,
Clay, let's hear
Let's
yours.
see some crazy shit. Fuck man.
Yeah, most of them I can't say besides with one, it's like some of them get a little wild. You don't want to throw anybody under the bus,
I don't have like a specific memory, but I mean it is a memory. It was the Halloween where you guys, I think it was like Michael Jackson Halloween, and there was like fucking like 600
Oh, yeah,
people
There
there.
was truly
You just like
no
could not
room.
walk around. I remember
I was in one place.
I couldn't leave
most
the
of that
sound booth.
night.
Yeah.
There was no space for that.
I just remember that being a like a particularly wild night.
Dude, honestly, I don't know. It's like weird. I didn't see this, but what about when the fucking raccoon like ate into the transformer, and then like, were you guys basically
raccoon,
you were
raccoon?
basically yeah
Yeah.
crispy raccoon
Yeah.
you guys were basically cleaned up, right?
I had broken down the stage because we were like, well, power's out. taken everything down. And
Did
power
like the
came
show?
back
Did
on.
the show like never start because the power went out, and then you were like, well, let's clean up, and then like
I was starting to clean up, and then as soon as we were done packing up, power came back on. The guys this is at the time when the guys were still rehearsing.
oh my
Like at a
god,
different house when we would rehearse at a different house, but I was doing sound for that night. So as soon as power came back on, we're like, we're going. And we had announced that it was canceled, but nobody saw that because nobody
Yeah.
checked back then. Nobody, it's just free. You just show up, you know.
right.
Everybody still showed up,
That's absurd.
and there was
That's so
somebody, one of our
Who found the raccoon?
somebody
Yeah.
who came here. Their boyfriend or girlfriend worked for the electric company that went out to check it. So they took a picture of it and sent it to us that night.
Oh my
and
god!
it was in fact, unfortunately, a very crispy raccoon.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Well, yeah.
Did you eat it?
Don't bite
tried.
that.
Little
Don't
bit.
bite that.
Little munchies.
You know.
Yeah, we're gonna have a good. We're gonna have.
Well, that
good
was a
show
good
tonight.
one. All right, I'll do one more bonus one.
Okay.
Just because it came to mind. There was it's always like after Booyah lets out.
Mhm.
It's like, just like we're just like everyone has just drank a bunch and danced a lot and they're all energetic and you just like
Yeah, they're all pumped
cast them out into the world.
No.
and,
Shoo.
right.
and watch what
Off
happens.
with you. And so they
Back to the street.
go get.
everyone scurried outside and there ensued a fight
Oh.
between Johnny, Sword Johnny, and this like tough guy, and I don't know who it was, but I wasn't even there to witness it, but I got the whole rundown. The guy pulled a knife on Johnny,
And he's like, "Don't bring a knife to a sword fight, right?"
and
I
I
just cast a spell and that was it.
somehow the guy ended up on the ground,
Yeah.
and
Hell yeah,
Johnny
Johnny.
was wearing high heels that night.
oh yeah, baby.
And he high heel stopped that motherfucker.
oh my god!
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah.
I could see Johnny throwing down.
Yeah.
And I think
Didn't they say after that we were like, Johnny, you can't bring the sword around anymore. It's too provided.
It's
It
like,
brings too much on the people.
are gonna
You want to fight?
you? It's funny because he's
There's no
just
more sword.
not. He's
No,
not
he's not a
trying to
fighter.
start fights.
But
you
you
know?
don't. But you don't want to start a fight with him. He will
Apparently
stomp
not.
You. He will stomp you. in his
I'm
high
really
heels.
happy to hear that.
Yeah.
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 That was
And-
crazy.
I mean,
He's
fighting's
definitely,
bad,
He's
but-
definitely fit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He's
I
on,
like
the
I
Yale
like
soccer
imagining him waking up in the morning and just thinking about his first thought.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen his like calligraphy shit?
No.
Oh.
I'm sure it's dope.
Yeah, he's killing at that. Yeah,
He
yeah.
just casts spells on people when he wakes up. That's
He's
his
a
first
wizard.
thing.
I have
sure,
a crazy
yeah.
Johnny story. I
Oh, is this the Banks one? Okay, sorry. Good.
I don't know. Maybe.
No.
His
So
Banks.
I had a
Can you-
family member who was basically he like needed to fucking go to rehab.
Mm-hmm.
But he was living in like Texas at the time and he like hit me up and he was like, dude, like, can I like come hang in Hartford? And I like basically like come live there. I was like, I don't know, dude, maybe you should just go to rehab. And so like long story short, he ends up like flying out so that we can figure out how to get him into rehab together. And we figure it out. But like while we're waiting, I forget, like he had like a flight or something to go to the whatever. I don't remember the details of that. But like while we're waiting, we go to get coffee at Story and Soil, and Johnny's there. Of course, Johnny's there.
Yeah,
So
that's his.
me and
haunt.
my family member were just like sitting outside, talking to Johnny, like waiting to send him off to rehab. And Johnny's just talking about like QAnon and shit. And I didn't even know what that was yet. That was my introduction to QAnon. And Johnny's just like talking about all this like just like wild shit, and my cousin's like going through like withdrawals and shit. And I was- but he
The
thought of
last
it like
person he
he's
sees.
super. I said whatever, it's my cousin, and like he's super funny, so he was like going along with it too. It was, like,
That might be like kind of a way to lighten the mood before you go into a serious, endeavor like that.
I feel like Johnny'd be like, you know,
yeah,
what?
he's a good send off.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Johnny sent me on my way, kind of guy.
Yeah.
And speaking of send off, guys, we do have to
Let's
play
go.
Oh, yeah.
some
We
music.
have to go play
Okay.
some music.
So,
Shot of beer. Let's go.
yeah, we're gonna do this for Johnny tonight.
Yeah, baby.
Um, and of course, Mr. David Bowie, rest in peace.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, Tim.
Happy birthday, Tim.
Happy birthday,
Happy
Kyle.
birthday, Kyle.
Kyle. It's
Um,
Kyle's birthday. He's
Yeah,
gonna be
our
here.
big handsome daddy.
Oh, he'll be here singing some tunes with us.
Mm-hmm.
And come to Booyah every Wednesday, Art Street Tavern. Love you guys. Goodbye.